Tom, private payrolls rose by 145,000 jobs and 145,000 in March. Well below expectation, ADP says. Okay, so this was a topic that everybody was talking about the last 24 hours. This is down from an upwardly revised 261,000 in February, down below Dow Jones' estimate of 210,000. The first quarter hiring averaged around 175,000 jobs a month, a sharp reduction from the average of 397 just a year ago in first quarter, okay? According to ADP's chief economist, Nella Richardson, the March payroll data is one of several signals that the U.S. economy is slowing down. Employers are pulling back from a year of strong hiring and pay growth, with pay growth now inching down. Job growth was almost evenly split between services and goods producing firms, which is unusual. The U.S. economy is heavily service-oriented, so the services sector generally produces much stronger hiring gains. Tom, why should we care about this number?
So there's a couple numbers to care about this morning. And first of all, happy Good Friday to everybody. And hopefully we give you some good ideas and some things to use with these stats as you manage your life and your business. There's a couple things going on here, Pat. Do you ever have like your favorite basketball team plays and you see a couple things that happen, and what happened maybe at the net really started like 45 seconds ago at the other end of the court, and things were forming and they come together? Or it's your favorite football team and you see something happen, you say, well, it really wasn't the touchdown, you have to go 2 plays before that.
Momentum being built up.
Correct. And
right.
Things happening. Well, here's what's interesting happening. And Rob, if you could be ready with the chart I sent you. Right now, there are 3 things that are moving together right now that are very bad. It is the change in job openings is dropping. So the number of job openings is dropping. When we saw the layoffs a week ago with Meta, remember, part of the Meta was, well, we're laying off 4,000 more people, but we're canceling 5,000 open jobs. So people that day that went online looking, hey, Meta's got like 5,000 engineering jobs. Poof, they were gone. So they call that net 9,000. So they eliminated 9,000 jobs. So those job openings are going away at an increasing rate, number one. And number two, the private payrolls rising less than expected means there was hiring, but less hiring than was expected, number two. And then number three, the percent change in quits is dropping through the floor. Let me explain quits. The government actually tracks the number of people that quit jobs, and this is before they get an unemployment check. Because when your Social Security number is with the IRS and you're going to get a W-2, they know who you work for. And if you change jobs at the end of the year, you get 2 W-2s, one for this job, one for that job. So the government can track when your Social Security number moves from one company to another, and they call that a quit or a job change. And so they get the stats. So what you have, everything coming together here, there's a chart that if you, can they see that right now? Perfect. So you take a look at this. This is by regions. And there's a government chart that you can look at anytime you want called JOLTS, J-O-L-T-S, which is Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey. And it'll tell you like the temperature of your region of what's going on for the job economy. And right now, job openings are down, lowest since 2021. Layoffs are up, and it's not just tech. And quits are down. So people with jobs are not quitting at the same rate they were in any of the previous 3 years, Pat. Remember it was fashionable to quit, walk across the street, tell them, and I want to work from home, and I want to bring my dog to work, and I only want to work 4 days, all those things, and I want 20% more. And employers were kind of desperate for workers. And so during COVID, sometimes they said yes. So the workers kind of had this leverage point. And as you've said on the podcast, a lot of times workers overplayed their hand because 3 years later, they're looking for layoffs, and the boss is saying, okay, who took me to the bank?
What's unique about this, though, Tom? So what's unique about this? What is this saying?
All of these things coming together are saying that we have a very soft job market right now, and you've got the Wall Street Journal, CNBC, and the official business magazine of China, Forbes. They're all saying the same thing, saying, look out. The word is look out. It's like think of it this way, Pat. There is a check engine light on the jobs part of the U.S. economy. We haven't stalled. We haven't pulled over yet. But when you take a look at everything here, job openings down, fewer people hired, and fewer people quitting. that means the entire job market is nervous.
Well, maybe let me read this other stat. So this kind of gives you a little bit of what you're trying to say. Job cuts are almost up 400% this year as jobless claims rise. Okay, so this is a specifics. The job cuts have nearly risen sharply with roughly. Job cuts have risen sharply with roughly 270,000 job cuts so far this year, 396% increase from last year.
What was that percent?
396%.
Oh, so that's big.
That's a very big number on what they're talking about. The tech sector was hit the hardest for job cuts, accounting for 38% of all the layoffs this year. Financial companies came in second, accounting for 11% of layoffs. Giants such as Amazon, Google, and Meta fired over 10,000, and it's not even slowing down. Adam, you were going to say something.
Yeah, well, look, if you're anything like me, like I'm reading all these reports right here, and if you focus on all this, it is so easy to get anxious and stressed out. Like if you just read any of these headlines, Jamie Dimon warns of the banking crisis has raised the odds of recession. The U.S. health system will go bankrupt the next few years. More signs pointing towards an imminent slowdown. Private payrolls rose 154,000 below expectations. Higher jobless claims. More jobs cuts. Bank failures. High inflation. It's like, holy shit, what does this mean for me? Right? Because at the end of the day, Tom is more of a macro guy and I'm more of a personal finance guy. You could take all this stuff and you have to look in the mirror and be like, okay, what am I going to do? You know how they say that like degrees pay fees and skills pay the bills? You have to look in the mirror and see, am I where I need to be skill-wise? Am I, Warren Buffett says the number one way to be inflation-proof or recession-proof is to actually just be good at your job.
Yeah.
Okay? So with all this chaos going on in the economy, it's so easy to feel overwhelmed. Like I'm sure Vinny's head's about to explode with all these numbers.
I'm going to throw up.
But if you're Vinny,
yeah.
If you're Rob, if you're me, are you showing up to work every day? Are you putting in the work? Are you improving? Are you outworking? Are you out strategizing? And that's the only way to outlast in a rough economy, because every day there's a new report. The economy is a recession, inflation. Actually, we're getting better. Oh no, hold on, stock market, Bitcoin up, down.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of it, but if I'm you, I have to take a deep breath and be like, okay, what can I do to control what's going on? They say that there's two things in life. Things that matter and things that you can control, or where you can focus is where those two things intersect. You can't control everything and not everything matters, but where they diverge is where you should focus.
So I would sum it up, step back from the macro, and thank you for the nudge, is if you've got a good job, keep it. Right now is the wrong time to walk across the street for a 5% difference in salary. Show some loyalty. If you own a business, and so many valuetainers out there are business owners. When we had our last live event, it's like 70% of people in the audience were business owners. And thank you for your support. Right now is a time to look around, and if you need to make an upgrade of a key position, you probably have a hungry person that might show up at the door as opposed to a couple of years ago. So maybe now's the time to make an upgrade, and now's the time to show some love to your great people, and the people that maybe were pains, you may be opportunities to upgrade them now.
And Pat, we've had this conversation many times. I know we brought this up a couple podcasts ago about whether it's good time to ask for a raise, stay loyal, loyalty, what's being rewarded. Over COVID, things were so up, things that went down, but I know you have strong feelings on what employees should be doing in this type of situation and how employers should respond to that, right?
Yeah, look, I mean, I understand the message you're giving. Your message is, hey, be careful reading a lot of these stories because you're going to be scared and you're going to be this and, focus on yourself. And all. Yeah, you're right. All of that stuff is fine. But people are here because they actually want to know, like, what's going to happen to the economy, right? They're here because they want to get our feedback, our opinion on, is this the time? Are we getting close to it? What should we do? And, they get to make a decision for themselves. We don't have the answers. We're just processing, having conversations together.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.